people in the match week 1, which began by Arsenal crushing Coventry City on Friday, continued on Saturday with amazing matches, with Brentford versus Tottenham being the headlight of the whole gist of yesterday, and all City masterminding the loss and tears of Manchester United. Today, we continue the match week 1 with the first and opening match between Manchester City versus Bournemouth. This encounter has happened 20 times. Manchester City has won 18 times. There have been a draw once, and Bournemouth have been able to win just once. Just once. And when you check up the stats of Manchester City, I am one person who believes that Manchester City against Pep Guardiola is going to be different Manchester City against Enzo Maresca. And these are my reasons. Now, when you look at the first 11, all the players that constitute the Pep Guardiola's era, the people that came in later, the signings before he left, they are not a matchup for the players that he lost on his way. Example of them, Kevin De Bruyne, the Silva, they are not players who are present that will match up the energy of the era of the Pep Guardiola. And let's be reminded, this is not me saying Maresca is going to be that coach that Pep is. Though I'm not a huge fan of Enzo Maresca, even when he was a Chelsea head coach. I just felt he was one of these lucky guys who just love knocking the ball around, boring knocking, not this sharp knocking that Pep gives to bring results. He just wants to knock the ball, no fast play and all of that. Pep, in his first season, signed about 8 players, and since it didn't work out, that was when he started resigning gradually before he got to his very best. And today, Pep is regarded as one of the greatest EPL coaches. And so Maresca may have to face this kind of face. May sign a couple of players and may still not get his rhyme for the first season. Because against Arsenal in this Community Shield, this Manchester City side I saw is a side that we are going to worry about. For we rivalry fans, we are going to enjoy the moment. They have been in the hairs of affair for as long as 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. And so now that they have a setback, it is time to wash their tears. Why we pray for our own clubs to get the mandate that they once had 10 years ago. So I see Manchester City struggling and Enzo Maresca for so many reasons. He is not Pep, number one. Secondly, even Pep, if Pep was in Man City will struggle even this season. And I'm one that thinks that Pep ran away from this problem because his contract was not yet finished. And so when in this Manchester City team, when you lose your best midfielder or even the best midfielder in the world, Rodri, and you get a replacement of, you're trying to get a replacement and you are not getting a replacement. What you are using now is Elliot, is Henderson and Kovacic. Then there's a problem there with that pivot. Because what Rodri gives to the team, there's no profile in Manchester City midfield that can give that. And then you lose your captain of last season, Bernardo Silva. And then your best player, the attacking line, what I saw against Arsenal in the Community Shield, it was lost. Haaland was lost. And then you have a couple of good young players who may not really be there to start performing at a consistent level. Now there's Savio and Marmoush on their way to Tottenham Hotspur. And so there are big questions as to where this team ends by the end of the season, how they perform. For me, my prediction this season, if Maresca can make top 4, then we should regard that as a trophy this season. I do not see them making top 4 this season. And I'm going to come back to this. Just save this video at the end of the season. We'll know if I'm just being quick to judgment or that's a clear state of what will happen. Yeah, I know some level of individual brilliance will come out from Erling Haaland, but sometimes a striker alone is not enough to secure you trophies. And so I see this team struggling this season, struggling heavily, because this side I watched against Arsenal in the Community Shield was a complete disaster. How will Henderson be costing more than £16 million and be nowhere in a match, in a final where you are needed? So, as it stands now, Man City are desperate to get those players that Enzo Maresca wants. And so when you give him those players and they cannot perform, then yes, the question is on him. Even if you give him the players, I'm of the opinion that Man City will struggle heavily this season. Maybe for next season they may begin to build, but this season, Enzo Maresca will struggle with his side. They are going to be not an easy side to knock out, but they are not in the title race conversation for me. Bournemouth, on the other hand, ended the season quite strong last season. They played good football under their former manager, who is now the Liverpool head coach. And so we do not really know what to expect from Bournemouth side today. We do not know what to expect. But if they are going to continue with the form they were in last season with their former manager, sometimes it is wise that when you come into a new team, you do not immediately change the dynamics of that team. You allow them play their football and just add 1 or 2 touches. If the manager comes and wants to change things, and then it becomes a problem. Sorry, it becomes a problem for the players to adapt. Yes, for me, my prediction in this match is a shocking draw. I do not see City beating Bournemouth. The second match of today, which also is at 2 p.m., is between Brighton and Aston Villa. I've been made to understand this encounter has happened 19 goal times. Brighton has won just twice. There have been a draw 6 times, and Aston Villa have won 11 good times. When you go by the stats, it is easy for you to say Aston Villa will win this fixture. But sometimes stats are deceiving, just like yesterday in Manchester City's match versus All City. We saw that Manchester United have won 8 times, they've drawn that match once, and Hull City have won just once, and it was nothing even in the Premier League. And for Hull City to have won comfortably against this Manchester team yesterday shows you that sometimes stats are deceiving. And so today, too, stats may be deceiving. This Brighton team are still under their former manager, and they have really lost no player. Yeah, they have lost 2 players. I mean, one 2 key players from their team of last season. They have lost Welbeck, who was not a regular starter though scored a couple of Premier League goals that contributed to the team's success last season. And they have lost Baleba to Manchester United, who last season also didn't play as much as he used to play in the previous seasons. And so, yet, I still do not see Brighton struggling with the absence of just these 2 players. They will still play their football. I still see them playing good football because these guys were key to last season's success, but Brighton still have a couple of good players to replace them. Yeah. My major concern is with this Aston Villa team. How do I win Europa and have a good season? And it is easy for me to let go key players. How do I sell Telemans after selling Rogers? And I sold again Kosa. That's my problem with this mid-table teams. It's to me as though they don't want to. I can't be selling these players to my rivals in the Premier League. It seems they are just comfortable with just playing good football, heading top 4, playing the Champions League spot. There's no ambition as to say, I want to win the Premier League. Because I would not sell this caliber of player if I want to win the league. And I was angry and disappointed with them selling these players to their rivals. So, 3 good players. And they are talking now of their number 1 goalie to sell them again. And so it's a question for Una Emery's team as to what they are going to do this season with their draw. But over the years, we have seen Unai Emery perform better with teams of lower ranks than teams we're expecting to perform at a very high level. Quick mention of PSG and Arsenal Football Club. So I just see Emery, based on what we are seeing with his team, they may struggle this season. But I'm a strong believer that Aston Villa is going to win Brighton in this match and will have a good season despite the players they have. So the problem is they don't want to go. It may be that they are comfortable with making top 4. So they want to go for trophies. You do not sell your best players. But they played well against the PSG side that later won the Super Cup without these players I mentioned. So yes, they are going to have a great season and will crush Brighton. That's my prediction. And in the final match of today's fixture, we have Newcastle playing Liverpool. And this encounter is going to happen at exactly 4:30 p.m. Nigeria time. These sides have met 64 good times, with Newcastle winning just 12 times, then having to a draw 13 times, and Liverpool crushing this encounter 39 good times. This shows you the dominance of one of the greatest teams in the EPL. Liverpool, on the other hand, sacked their last season's manager, and right now are with a new manager who plays kind of a similar football to Jurgen Klopp. And the slots kind of football is a little bit different, but yeah, it's still kind of the pressing him. And then why I am impressed with Liverpool signing their new manager is because if you want to transit from the Jurgen Klopp era, you went to slots trying to bring out the same thing and it's not working. It is good that you sign still that kind of profile of the previous manager that brought success to the club. And then I see this Liverpool side competing strongly for the league. I see them competing strongly for the league. Liverpool are going to play on a very interesting football. And mind you, they may have not signed a lot of players this season, but last season's signing may have their bearing in this season, because let's say they were coping with the new league they came from, just came to Premier League trying to adapt. And so this season, there will be more balance to adapt and implement whatever kind of game they are good at playing. And here we're talking about Ekitike has been in the league, but injury didn't allow him. So if he's injury free in this season, we know what to expect. And then Isak, and then Ekitike came from Frankfurt, yet had a great start to his Liverpool career. He had quite good times last season. Went in for injury on his back. He had Frimpong also, who struggled last season, but Was trying to find his feet later, but the rhymes was not there. But of course, this is a new season. Anything can happen. The fully rested Frimpong could bring back his Bayern Leverkusen playing this. And then last week, Florian Wirtz, who cost Liverpool that much, has been subject to a lot of scrutiny and criticism. Yet, he is that player he is when he goes back to the German national team. Let's not forget, some players struggle at their first season, but when it comes to their second seasons and the third, fourth, they are something else than their previous nightmares. And so Liverpool is a team to watch this season. Liverpool are going to be a strong side of my prediction, and today they are going to easily beat this Newcastle side. Newcastle, on the other hand, have lost a couple of good players. They lost Anthony Gordon to Barcelona, and they lost their captain Bruno Guimaraes to a rivalry Arsenal Football Club. And then I asked myself, what is it about this club selling these players? Uh, you sell and you do not even replace with a player of that frequency or ability. Well, the ownership knows better how to run their club than I do. And so Newcastle are going to struggle this season. So my predictions for today's games is Man City Bournemouth, a draw or a win for Bournemouth. Brighton versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa is going to find a way to win that match. And Newcastle versus Liverpool, 4:30 today, Nigeria time. Liverpool is going to crush Newcastle. So those are my predictions for today and analysis as given by me. So let me know your thoughts and comments on what I've said. Do you agree with me? Do you think Man City will still crush Bournemouth? Do you see Man City as strong contenders? Do you agree that Liverpool is going to be a strong side or no? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I remember your boy. Cheers.